when we speak of these mantras, we're reaching out to the source of all individuals. But anyway, yes.
I'm going to chime in. I'm Hindu, and I know like why you're saying person. In Hindu mythology, we kind of explain these concepts in stories. So like what you're talking about, this philosophy is told in a story fashion, and so Hare Krishna is embodied as a person in Hindu mythology. So like you were talking about Hare Krishna as a person, and it's a way.
It's the blue.
Yeah, like in Hinduism, it's this blue avatar, and like it's in a lot of. He has a peacock feather. It's a big symbolism, and I just wanted to say it's just the way it was taught to people who didn't have the education, didn't have the literacy, was through story. And so like then Hare Krishna became an embodiment of this character to teach these difficult concepts that people who did not at the time have that elaborate education. And so like what you're saying is kind of like the root meaning behind it, but in the mythology, it is the story that helps people who don't have that education and background historically understand and gain that spiritual knowledge.
Hare Krishna. So in the middle of Devananda Pandit Prabhu's explanation of the process of Kirtan, the chanting of the great mantra for deliverance, the Hare Krishna mantra, this young woman, who is obviously an educated, intelligent person, who says she's also a Hindu and therefore put herself forward as an authority on the Hindu religion, said she wanted to chime in with her own explanation of Hare Krishna. She claimed that Krishna is not even a person. He's a myth. A myth is defined as, quote, a traditional legendary story, usually concerning some being or hero or event, with or without a determinable basis of fact or natural explanation, especially one that is concerned with deities or demigods and explains some practice, rite, or phenomenon of nature, end quote. But Krishna is an actual person who appeared on this planet 5,000 years ago. He is not a myth. He explained this philosophy of the science of bhakti yoga to Arjuna on a battlefield in India called Kurukshetra that is still existing to this day. And he is the one who imparted what she called, quote, difficult concepts, end quote, to his friend Arjuna, who was doubtful about his duty to fight and surrendered to him as his student for instruction. He is not, quote, symbolism, end quote, and he did not, quote, become an embodiment, end quote, of some blue character like some kind of smurf with a peacock feather on his head to explain the yoga system. This knowledge has existed since time immemorial, and it's his knowledge. He, Krishna, is the compiler of the Vedas. Veda means knowledge. On that very battlefield, he said to Arjuna, Vedanta krit Vedavit eva chaham. I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. The only person who can explain it is his bona fide representative who has heard it from his spiritual preceptor, who imparts the same wisdom as it is. It doesn't require some made-up character or symbolism to explain it, because it's the absolute truth, and it is self-evident. As Srila Prabhupada said, what we are spreading as Krishna consciousness, that is Bhagavad Gita. We are not manufacturing anything, end quote. Here are Srila Prabhupada's own words, spoken in Mayapur in 1975.
You take advantage of this cult of Krishna consciousness, which was spoken by Krishna himself in this land of Bharatvarsha, Dharmakhetri, Kurukhetre, Samavita, Judutsava. That Kurukshetra is still existing. It is not a myth or mythology. They are nonsense people, they may say like that. But Krishna is the supermost person, both in history, and Purana means history. Itihasa Purana. Sarang Samudritya. Vyasadeva compiled the Srimad Bhagavatam by collecting the most important news from history. Purana. Purana means old history. It is not mythology. The foolish people, they say like that, mythology means something created. No. Don't take it that way. It is the essence of important historical incidences. Record. Both itihas, history. Mahabharata is also history. Maha means great, and Bharata means this land. Actually it is the history. But foolish people, without understanding through the Guru Parampara system, they manufacture their own way of understanding, therefore they are misled. They cannot take full advantage of this Vedic literature because they are misled. We should not be misled.